Good morning, everyone. Today we are on day 5, and the sketch is by Katie Scott, and up here it says Scrappy Sisters. So she must be one of the Scrappy Sisters, I'm unsure. But I really love the layout. It's really pretty. They've got 2 photos. One is probably like a 4x6 and the other one's the size down. And then it looks like it's cut like in rays or wedges, and then one side is just the, you know, the full half. And so I ended up drawing a template. First I marked it out how I thought it would go. And is my invisible ruler here? Invisible ruler. Yes, it is. Okay. So I started out by I started in this corner, and at first I did like 1.5 inches, and that seemed like it was too much. And so once I got them all drawn, because I did like 1.5 inches, and then I did, first I kind of counted it, how I thought it would look, and it's like, no, that's not right. So I ended up doing 1.25 inches here, and then I did, well, 3, and it looks like I did 3 1/8, but I think when I was measuring it was more than that. Oh, it's actually 3 5/8, okay. And then I did 3 1/2, and then 3 1/4, because that's how it looked like this. You know, I was just trying to get close to that, and I know it's, you know, probably impossible unless we actually had her measurements. And then on this side there was only like 3 wedges, and so I did 3 1/2, and I can't keep them from moving. Okay. And then here I did another 3 1/2, and then whatever was left was the next one. And then when I actually cut the papers that I would end up using, I gave them a little bit extra. So I would like lay this little wedge on top of the paper I wanted to use and then mark it. So if I was using this, I would take this and lay it on here and mark it, you know, on one side and then on the other, and then up here on each side. And then I would cut it a little further out so that I could overlap them just slightly. And I do mean slightly, so I didn't add too much extra. But I think it really turned out pretty how it's gonna look. And then I just picked a point. Well, actually, I divided this, you know, I measured to the center, and I used that as my point, and then just went from there. Now, when I did get everything here, so now I've got my paper. Oh, let me tell you what I'm using. This is Mintay Dreamer. I used this, was it yesterday? Nope, the day before, on the winter formal, and I'm using this again, and it's the pictures I'm doing are from my daughter's wedding. The twins were the flower girl and the ring bearer, and this will be for her, and then I'll do a different one for him. And actually my sister's back here and my nephew. And this was before the wedding. They're just, you know, trying to, you know, just hang out and be calm. And anyhow, he's like looking at a hymnal. And she is just laying there, and then somehow she ends up losing her little headband. So I'm going to call it Tangled, because here she is wrapped in all the ribbons. So so that's what I'm doing for that. Oh, and the letters I'm using are the ones I picked up at the Dollar Tree, or the Dollar General actually. And they're from American Crafts. They're thickers, and they're called Doll, which I thought was really cute. A cute title for this little doll that's in this video, or in this picture. I guess she's also in the video. So I'm gonna start actually with this one here, because that's the one I actually measured first, and my tape is nowhere to be found. Oh, and when I started out looking for these, you know, what papers I was going to use, I was going to use all just monochromatic pinks on some kind of paper. But trying to get monochromatic, or, you know, pinks that looked similar but different enough was like impossible for me. And I thought, I pulled out Graceful, the Mintay paper, because I thought, oh, that's really pretty. But then I know my daughter's colors were like a burgundy, maybe a pink. I don't remember the colors that were all in it, because it was a fall wedding. And so I thought these colors worked really well. Okay, now I thought I didn't have to number these because I knew where they all went. But I'm wrong. Okay, so I started with that one. Oh, this one I did write on it, but then I decided, oh, I just know where they're at. I know where they're going. Okay, so I'm gonna kind of fill the corners first, and that way I'll know where they have to overlap. And down here it's not gonna matter, because that's where you're putting your photos if you're following along with the sketch. And this one here, it was actually a scrap. And in order to get it to where the birds were facing the right way, I did this one, well, I knew where the photos were going to be, so I knew it could be right here. So like a lot of this, you know, this part probably doesn't matter to have it all in there, but I just made it to where it was easy, because it's kind of a struggle when you're doing something that's at an angle and having to line them all up. You know, it's kind of like putting together a puzzle now. Okay, and I think I still see a little bit of my eraser. And I don't have my pencil here. But if it still shows afterwards, I'll do something about it then. Oh, and I was going to show you, I bought this retractable, and I don't know if you've seen my Tuesday morning haul, but it's ektools. It's a retractable one, and so I really like it because it's like I don't have to try to put it in a case every time I set it down, because I would just be cutting myself on it, because that's how I treated my other one. It's like as soon as I was done with it, it had to go back in the case. So this way it's like, it's, you know, should be safe. I still wouldn't put it, you know, where the kids are going to be. Okay. Oh, now here's the difficult part. Okay, which one did I have here and which one here? Because I did not mark these. Okay, but this looks like the way it goes. Okay, and one thing, because of this pattern, I also wanted to make sure that it didn't, that the pattern was going the right way. And the same way with the birds, they had to be the right direction. So you have to make sure that everything is going in the right direction if you're doing this kind of layout. Okay, and then when I got to this, and I'm actually going to put this one next because I want everything to be kind of overlapping this one. I decided I was going to use this piece because I could stick it in here and have this little scene showing, kind of like I did with the one I did yesterday, how I found the little spot where the hat went and then I put it there. So I'm gonna kind of do the same thing, and oh, it stuck before I was ready. Okay, and I'm going to just kind of tuck that in there, and I know it can't be in there too much, but Just a little, and that should be it. And this is actually going to cover up my line, so that will work. Okay, and so this little bird shows here, and this little bird shows here. And then you see some flowers in this little window. You see these little tags here, and then flowers like they're kind of dangling through that little slit there. Because I couldn't decide what I wanted to use for another pattern. And I tried different ones, and it's like, oh, maybe this would be really cute. So I do like that there. So that's why I chose that one. I mean, it's like, I always hate to cover up this floral, but I had to have something kind of plain here. And I am going to be covering up that pencil, but I'm trying to keep that butterfly showing. And some people might think, oh my gosh, look at all the patterns. I really love patterns. I don't have to have a solid anywhere. And I know some people probably think that's just craziness, but I don't know, I just love patterns. Okay, so I'm just gonna line that up there. So I think the most important part is to leave yourself a little bit of room for air. And it doesn't have to be very much. Okay, and so I'm gonna have this one here first. Now, I took these pictures, but do you think I remember even taking the pictures? So it's like this one I'm putting first. Well, it's actually left to right, but since she's looking this way, she's looking this way. This is actually what happened first. This is what happened second, because she lost her little headpiece and she was tangled in the ribbon. So, and I don't even know if I helped her. I probably wouldn't have then, just because I know that there was time to fix them, just because I would have thought, well, that would have been a waste of time because it'd be messed up before you knew it anyway. Because they are kids. Okay, oh, and my little tags are not going to show, I don't think. Because this is going to go up here quite high. And oh no, I know it's actually tilted in the picture, but I don't know if I need to have it tilted, but I'll tilt it a little until I decide, and then I'm just doing the little overlap. And then my title is going to go right here. And do I want to slide it over just a little so that Tangled fits right underneath this photo? Let's see. Okay, and then, and I'm not pushing it down yet. I'm not fully committed. Okay, and then I have this little window, and I'm going to use this. And I want the window to open this way, so I think it's going to go like this. And I'm not going to cut out the little windows just because there will be too many things in there that I'm going to keep it white. Where lots of times I would, you know, go ahead and cut them out. But I'm not going to this time. And I think that that's the right places, but I'm going to not push it down until I've fully decided that that is a spot. And then I have a birdhouse that I'm going to stick up right here because this is where the birds are and the birds are here. So I'm kind of going with that. And I think that does look like it's my spot. I think I have it a little more spread out than what I did when I was planning it. Okay. But that's okay, it never looks exactly how I planned it. And sometimes I change my mind when I get over here. Okay. And then I have, let's see, what's the flower I have for this? I think it's this one here. And I'm just going to stick it a little bit underneath this birdhouse. And I try to avoid having leaves stick off because I hate that sharp edge. So even I might cut these off or pull this over a little more, maybe do that. And that way I can tilt it. I like to come over the picture a little bit. Okay, I think that's my spot. Okay, I'm going with that. And I'm gonna pull this one over a little bit. I'm gonna kind of push that one down because I'm more committed to that. Okay. And then pull my Tangled down here. I think that's good. I do want that straight. And I've lost my invisible ruler. If you haven't been here before and you're hearing me call it the invisible ruler, it's because once I realized I couldn't see it, and I knew that, it was easier for me to find it. So I just call it the invisible ruler. Okay, did I put any glue tape on here? No, I did not. Okay. Okay, now my fussy cutting, this is just barely hanging on, so I am going to glue that spot. And you know that if you use this, what are they calling it now? This tacky glue by Scotch. It's not forgiving at all. Once you commit, you are committed. Okay, so, okay, I need to actually push that down now. And I think about right there is good. And then because of the way this flower ends up, it looks like you're kind of seeing it from the back. And so it looks like it's not connected to anything. So I'm going to use one of these little flowers that, you know, is also, all these were on the, what they call the element sheet. And it's the cover that you get when you purchase. Except for I did not get this whole collection. I've just kind of pieced parts of it together. Okay, so I am just going to use this little flower to kind of cover up that end. And then I have one that's kind of dangly or on a stem. I guess it's not dangly, but in my case it's going to be dangly. And I'm just going to let it fall from here. So I have my little scene there, and my Tangled is going to be right there. And so now, because he's got a book, and there were books on the element sheet, I'm going to use them. Thought how perfect. Okay, and I'm just going to stick these right on the end. And I'll probably need a little dimensional on here, but I can always do that at the end. I'm still saving room for my Tangled. Okay. And now I have this rose here that's all by itself, and I think this is just gorgeous. So I'm going to put that right up against the books. And again, it's like the stem is there, and if I don't cover it up, that's going to bother me because it wouldn't look that good if it was just there. So I don't know. I guess if I add something here, it's like it's still in water. I don't know. I don't know why I think, I have to have that there, but I do. Okay, and then again, I have one of the little ones with the stem. And this time I'm going to kind of stick it up over this other one, because I don't want it to look identical to this, but it looks pretty close. Okay, and then I'm going to come over to this side, I keep thinking there's something here, but it's because his little jacket's up. So I have this floral now, and I always have to figure out which direction it goes. And I guess I'm using it that way. Because sometimes it does look like there's a particular, actually I think every time to me it looks like there's a particular way it has to be. I guess unless it's these things, I just can move those around. Okay, so I'm going to kind of let this overlap this picture. And I'm putting this book right down here, and it has to overlap that too. So I'm not pushing it down all the way. And I'm just making this look like it's laying on the floor or you know, on the pew. Then I have a little bird here. And I'm just gonna tuck this bird right into this little blue flower. It kind of looks like a blue tulip. Is there such a thing? I don't know. I have no idea. There's in scrapbook world right now, because that's what I'm calling it. Okay, so there is my florals. So, like Katie Scott, she had her florals. Okay, now I'm gonna put Tangled down here. And we'll see how close I can get it to there, and hopefully not cover up too much of everything. Now, today at 10 Eastern, I'm going to be showing my collection obsession. I've been having computer issue, or actually internet issues. So I just didn't get it done until I actually got it done earlier. So I just set it up so it would be after this, because all the 30 days of sketches, I would kind of like them to be on at the same time every day. So that's my goal. As long as, if for some reason I'm not here, it's because of my Wi-Fi. And every time they come out and fix it, it gets worse. And I know you're supposed to say what you want, not what you have. But that's the way it's been so far. Oh, and my books look crooked. They look like they're gonna fall over. Okay, I gotta fix that. Okay, that looks better. Okay, and my Tangled does fit in there, and it doesn't even run into the flowers. I didn't know if that was going to be the case or not. Okay, and now I do see that I have yellow here, and I kept thinking I might stick this bird in here. So I think I'm going to do that because it looks like I'm missing that yellow. Oh, I did have a bird out for it. Okay, so I thought I planned it. Okay, so I'm just gonna stick it down here by this little birdhouse. And then, since she's got on white, I'm going to use white enamel dots. Where do I want to put this one? Okay. Where am I putting these? And it does look like we have another little bird right there just peeking out. The little one's there. And so down here, sometimes I like to overlap the little where my papers are or something. It's all that collaging. Loved collaging in school. That was like one of my favorite when we did that in art class. Okay, so there it is. It's day number 5. And again, it was Katie Scott, and it looks like she's one of the scrappy sisters. And so check later on to see my collection obsession. And so I'll see you at 10, and then I'll see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Oh, stay tuned for the close-ups. Make sure you check out the other ladies. All the links are below. Bye-bye.